How's it going, folks, and welcome back for another Tiny More Tuesday. This week we're taking a look at part 2 of our series on C Jam Blues. Last week's lesson focused on the melody and how to apply some simple harmony parts on top of that melody. This week we're taking a look at kind of our second step of the threefold approach to learning jazz tunes, learning how to comp or accompany a soloist or melody player. Now, the patterns that we're using this week to accompany our melody were taken directly from a recording of Tiny More in Weiser, Idaho back in the early 80s. The funny thing is, he wasn't playing C Jam Blues. I just took the rhythms that he was using to accompany as well as some of the chord shapes and then just tailored them to fit C Jam Blues. So the first pattern that we're looking at today simply involves tritone double stops for all of the seventh chords that are in our chord progression. So another way to phrase that is we're playing the third and the dominant seventh for each of our chord changes. Pretty cool, right? We can accompany a tune only having to know 2 notes for each of the chord changes that we're playing. The second pattern that we're looking at today builds upon those tritones and simply adds 1 color note on top of our tritones. It changes depending on the chord we're looking at, and that's for you to analyze. I'll challenge you to do that. The third pattern that we're using today adds 2 color tones on top of all of our tritones, giving us some really dense, lush harmonies that were really typical of Tiny More's playing later on in his career, like in the Back to Back album, or some of those recordings that are popping up on YouTube, like the ones from Weiser or the Ashokan camps back in the 80s. Alright, folks, before we go ahead and dive into the breakdown for today's lesson, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to this channel and liking this video, that would really help me keep more great Tiny More content headed your way in the future. Also, don't forget to check out btlmusicnotes.com/learn for your free PDF of the sheet music and tablature to today's lesson. Alright, folks, let's go ahead and dive into the breakdown.